In this video, you are going to learn how to write the linear inequality for any given graph. In order to write the the inequality for any given linear graph, let's say, you need to remember the linear equation. The linear equation in y-intercept form, it was y equals mx plus b, where m calling slope and b, it was y-intercept. What's y-intercept? Is the point that intersecting y-axis, like here. For example, this is y-axis, and this is in exactly this equation, intersecting y-axis in -5, correct? Okay, to write any equation, you need to know m and b. Teacher, how to find out m? M, it's about, you have rule also for m. M is about change in y over change in x, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you need to calculate m and b, both of them. Then you can write the equation of any inequality, linear inequality. So let's dive in it and solve this question. Okay, first of all, b in this question, how much? I explained it. B is going to be -5. Why, teacher? B is about y-intercept. This line intersects the y-axis in -5. How about m? Pick 2 points on this line, but let your point be accurate points. For example, I can say this point, which is on the line, this is 0, -5. And I can pick one more point, either this one or this one. Why this two, teacher? Because these two are exactly on the, let's say, whole number. For example, this one is -2 for y and 1 for x. This one is 2 by 1. Okay, but something like this point is not a good point. This is about decimal points. Okay, so let's erase this part to get the question correctly. Anyway, I can pick, let me erase this part also. Okay, I can pick this point and this point. About x is 1 and about y is -2. So the point is 1, -2. Okay, dear students, now if I label them, you can label anything as you like. You can make this one, for example, x1, y1, and this one is x2, y2, or you can change them. You can make one -2, x1, x2, y2, the other one x1, y. No different. You can find slope by this one. So y2 minus y1, we have -5 minus -2 over x2 minus x1. x2 is 0 minus x1 is 1. So we will get m equals -5 minus going to be +2 over -1. -5 plus 2 going to be -3 over -1. Final answer, m equals 3, because negative with negative, they cancel each other. So m is 3. Okay, homie. Now you can write the equation, but without, this is equation. If you see here, this is equation. I don't want equation, I want inequality, because the question is saying inequality. So I'll write down y, but without the equal sign. For m, I can write down 3x, right? Because m is 3. And I found b is already -5. Correct? Okay. The only thing left is what is the inequality sign. So if you check the line, it's a shaded line, a solid line, or is a solid line or dashed line. So remember this note, when it was solid line, we were using greater than, less than or equal, or greater than or equal. But for the dashed lines, we were using less than or greater than. So for this case, we must pick this two. Okay, which one I can do? I can pick. Students, in the shaded part, pick any point in the shaded part. This is shaded part, right? Pick any point as you like. Any point in the shaded part, but let it be easy point. Pick any point in the shaded part as you like. For example, someone likes this point. This point is in the shaded part, correct? So this point, how much? Is 2 and 0. Correct or not? Yes, teacher. This is x, this is y. Go substitute. For y, I can write down 0. For 2, I can write 3 times 2 minus by 5. So 0 this side. 3 times 2, 6 minus 5. 0, 6 minus 5, 1. Which side is bigger? Of course, 1 is greater, right? I must, and also it was shaded, so I must use this sign. Why, teacher? Because shaded part always, any point in the shaded part satisfying the inequality, right? So that's why we must use this one, not the other one. This is going to be first example, and I'm going to explain for you two more examples. You can take note, you can stop the video and resolve the question by yourself in order to practice and get the answer. Okay, students, here's example number 2. In this example, again, we have linear inequality graph and asking to write the inequality. Dear students, again, let's remind ourselves the equation of linear y equals mx plus b, right? So b how much and m how much? Kindly stop the video and try to find out b and m by yourself right now. Then check my answer. Alright, if you did that, welcome back to the video and see your mistake or see your answer. About y-axis, we said b is about y-intercept. Where this graph exactly intercepted or intersected y-axis? Exactly in this point. And in this point, how much is 2? So we know that b equals 2. How about m? M, I can pick this point, which is 0, 2, and another point, another accurate point. For example, this point is accurate, right? I can pick no, I can pick this one. This is good point. Okay, in this point, this is 1, 2, 3. So it's about 3 and negative 2. Okay, homie. Now, if I write for this one x1, y1, this is x2, y2. Teacher, why not the other one x1? You can change as you like. Okay. So we will get the answer y2 minus y1, negative 2 minus y1 is 2 over x2 is 3 minus x1 is 0. So final answer m equals negative 4 over 3. So I found both of them. Great. So let's substitute and get the inequality. So I will have y instead of m, I will write negative 4 over 3 x plus, instead of b, I will write down 2. Okay, dear students, so remember about the inequality sign, which one I should use. Remember, this is dashed line, and for dashed we were using either greater or less. Which one I must pick? Again, go to the shaded part. This is shaded part. Pick a point. For example, I can pick this point. This point contain 0, 4, right? Contains 0. The point that usually contains 0, pick that point because it's easy for calculation. So 0, 4. Instead of x, I will write down 0. Instead of y, I will write down 4. So I will write 4 negative 4 over 3 times by 0 plus 2. I will get 4, this one 0 plus 2. So I will get 4 and 2. Which side is greater? Of course, 4. so I must pick like that. This is going to be second example, and one more example left. Here we go, students, with the final example in this video, which we have a horizontal line. Remember an important note in math that we have. When we have important note, I'm gonna write for you note. When x equals c and c is any number, then the graph, dear students, I wrote both notes and I paused the video to make time. So when x equals c and c is any number, the graph going to be vertical line. We know that, right? Passing through the point C. If C is 1, passing through 1. If C is 2, passing through 2. If C is 0, passing through 0, and so on. When y equal C, the graph, C is any number, of course, the graph going to be horizontal line, like that you see on the screen. A line pass through C. If y equal 1, then the graph going to be a horizontal line passing through 1. When y equal 2, the graph going to be مثلا y equals 2. So on the 2, on the y-axis, you will draw a line. Okay? And so on. Okay, students, for this question here, I have the line passing through which point? -3. So we know that it's horizontal by this node, so the graph must be y equals -3, right? But this is, I cannot use the equation sign because this is inequality. Okay, check these numbers. Since this part shaded, this part and this -3, this part are less than -3 or greater, مثلا -4. If y is -4, -4 is greater than -3 or less than? Of course it's less than, but remember this is solid line, so that's why you need to pick the inequality sign. So students, I hope you understood and enjoyed the video. For any question, anything, please write down in comment below or contact me. Have a great time. See you later.